let's go live on Facebook. Oh, wait a second. We live on Facebook? Yeah, we're live on Facebook, and we're live on YouTube. And then let's see. We'll get IG going next here.
My cousins that were over here, one of them is an architect, and he's like, I help him do a lot of his 3D renders. And I was like, dude, he's like, I would love a system where because I'm like, I'm sure somebody's working. He's like, let's make an AI program for architect. I'm like, dude, I guarantee somebody's working on that right now. Autodesk is probably working on that for design me a house plan with 3,000 square feet with these rooms in it, and then check the local code for this city to make sure that it complies with the local building code. I mean, and poof, spit me out 10 variations of that plan. I'm like, dude, I guarantee. He's like, dude, I love that. Like, dude, you'd be out of a job then. like, you won't love it now until it's automated. Then you can't. Then somebody just does it. Then just somebody goes to Chat GPT and does it themselves, and they don't need to hire your ass anymore because it's already like to code. Everything's already perfect up. I was like, don't wait. It's like you might regret that wish.
Copy. Instagram. When I reinstalled everything, I reinstalled this new. I don't know. I guess somebody took the code of whatever, whoever wrote whatever code when it comes to,
For OBS.
yeah, all the
I mean, think about it. You could write your own plugins with OBS, dude. Go into freaking Claude and be like, yo, write me a freaking plugin that does this and that. Make me a title scene. 16:9, split it in two.
So, www.google. Oh no, I gotta go to produce. Yeah, Google. So, yeah, they changed a lot. Now I gotta set it up a different way. However, it seems to be a lot more. I don't know, a little bit better. Maybe the way they designed it, a lot more Oh, did you come in with another? Oh, you came in with a screen share?
Oh, yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I could see it.
Oh, okay. I was testing that. Let's see if it actually worked.
Shit. X producer. That's my last one. Okay, X producer. There we go. Create broadcast. No, Z. There, go live. Live stream tonight. Okay, give me this. Instagram producer.
But I tell you what, man, I came across a system doing the patent search for Echo Pet Tracker, which is this where doing your patent search is like one of the most critical things. And man, somebody has a system that's fairly similar to what I'm designing. It's like it's not similar. It's the same concept where it's a handheld like radar based system, but it's called Marco Polo. I was like, when the fuck did this come out, man? Like I never even heard of this thing before. And sure enough, like I don't even think they're even in business anymore. I went to their website to see if you could like buy one. Like I think they totally went out of business or they discontinued the product or something, which is good. That's a good thing. So I was like, well, that's a close call.
Why don't you see what how the product was built?
Well, they actually I did a deep dive into it. They have like my system plugs into your phone. Like my system overall, the design is a lot better. I could see why their system failed because their tracking tags are big, and you got this big ass. The freaking thing looks like from like 1980, man. The handheld tracking system. It's like a monochrome screen. It's like, man, like I think they came out like 6 years ago with this thing or whatever, and they don't say what frequency they used, but I figured it out. It's 900 megahertz, which is roughly in the range of the frequency that we're using on Echo Pet Tracker. So, and I was like, which is good because I'm like, all right, here's this out there. Like, now this is where it's awesome on the patent stuff, on using AI with the patents, because then you can feed it another patent and you can be like, okay, lock my patent down, like make sure that I'm not infringing on this patent and give me suggestions on how I can tweak my patent so that I'm not infringing on this other patent right there, and I'm still locking my system down to where nobody can replicate it. That's like, and dude, that's where it's like. Because let me tell you something. The one of the patents that I have filed with a friend of mine that we did, dude, like 12, 15 years ago. Shit, how long was that? 12 years ago? Long ass time ago. And dude, we spent $50,000 on a patent attorney, like one of the top patent attorneys on the planet. Michael Bednarik was his name. He was a Samsung's patent attorney, and dude was $800 an hour. It was like $2,000 a month retainer fee on top of it, just to get the patent like written and done. So I was like, man, like getting a good patent ain't cheap. That's for damn sure. So, and it's like having AI, man, is a massive freaking benefit when it comes to like doing the detail analysis of the patents and then figuring, because that's ultimately how you write it is like the biggest thing. Like you want to write your patent like broad, you want it broad, but you want it detailed at the same time so that you can, the broader you have it, it keeps it up to where you're locking more parts of the system down, so and then you can leave it up to the court to decide. That's usually what they'll do. They'll keep it kind of like broad based, but then you'll go into the court system, and then that's where you'll litigate it if somebody like infringes on it or whatever, and wants to challenge your patent and stuff like that. So interesting strategy that go into like writing patents.
Okay, I'm gonna start the show. Hang on, I'll be back.
All right.
Be back in 5 minutes.
Roger. What's up, Juliet?
Oh, it's a shame when a woman spends all her time alone. When I am perfectly willing to give her everything she needs. I don't care about her past. I don't care what she's been through. I just wanna fill one night with good love, baby. That's all I wanna do. So baby, if you got that feeling, I wanna give you that midnight healing. You know what I'm talking about, yeah. Just turn the lights down low. Come right on over here to me. I know you don't want no commitments, baby. I just wanna set your body free. And I don't care what's going on in the night outside my door. I just wanna get your head right, baby. Give you all the love I got for sure. So baby, if you've got that feeling, you know I wanna give you that midnight healing. Oh, I just wanna make love to you all night long. Midnight healing, baby. Yeah, you know what I'm talking.
Okay. Hang on, y'all. Check, 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 check. My glass. All right, so tonight we're bringing it back old school. We're only doing an hour of power tonight. Last week we had some issues. Let me just do 8, 9, 20. Last week we had a couple issues. My router went dead, and so I just decided that come back and do. Had a show on Friday, so it was Friday is no big deal. Let me just do an audio check here, and then we'll get started. Shit, I look very dark. What's going on here? Okay. So we had some. Hang on, let me get everything right here. Let's see if this is better. You know, it'd be good too if we had our guest on screen. That'd be good. That would be smart, Mark. That'd be a smart thing to do. Okay. Let's see. Ooh la la la. I think this should be a little bit better here. All right. Yeah, we're good. Oh man, I didn't change those. Okay. What's up, y'all? So last week we had some issues with the router. This weekend, my sound, my mixer broke. But all right, that sounds all right. That sounds good. All right, so had some technical issues last week, which is why we didn't have an hour of power. My router went down. I had to get a new router. I had a lot of technical issues the last 2 weeks. Computer malware, router problems. Now I have a mixer problem. So Josh, you guys have seen him on a couple of times before. He's going to come on and do a show with me. We're going old school tonight. We're only doing an hour of power. What up, Big Money? I see you out there. Oh, Big Money like the Q Ranch fire last night. Thank you for coming, Big Money. You and Hammer, I appreciate you guys for coming. It was a good time last night, and Rory stopped in. You guys got to meet Rory, so I had fun. Yeah, so you guys met Josh, seen Josh. Josh has been on a bunch of shows, so Josh decided to come on tonight. I said, why don't you come on with me, so we could. I said, let's just run an hour. I said I would rather run an hour and let's make sure everything works, because we got shows this week. We got a community show, so I'm going to bring him up. Hang on, let's see. All right, there he is. So I got a community show this week. We got You Zapata recap at the end of the week. And I don't know. I haven't made a decision what I want to do with my mixer yet. So I thought it would be smart to run a test. I was able to put together a show. So I said, you know what, rather than, oh shit, let me turn the camera on so you can see me. Rather than run a fucking a bunch of bad shows and not know that they're not working, I said, why don't we just do a test for a true hour of power? So that's what we're doing. We're doing a true hour of power. What's up, Josh? You're on.
What's kicking?
All right. So what are we talking about tonight?
Random stuff. Well, TGIF. What do you want to start with? Oh yeah, what was the date? So that was back in April when that started.
So TGIF, which is a show a space that we do on Fridays. It was started by Sun and Alina. I think they brought me in. They started it. From what I'm reading in the emails, it looks like we started back in April. So was I doing the artistic and mongoose space and TGIF together?
I think so, man. That's the thing, man. It's been so long. It's like a like the whole thing like blurred together. So, but I think they were running. They overlapped before Mongoose to Spaces stopped, if I remember correctly, but could be wrong. So nonetheless, man, I can't believe it's been over a year already with TGIF, man. Time flew.
Isn't that crazy? That show's been running every Friday for a year. We only missed, I think, one Friday, maybe 2 Fridays.
Yeah, 1 or 2 Fridays. Yeah, that's it.
But so we have to Yeah, we got to do a little year
Yeah,
anniversary.
we got to do a year
celebration.
anniversary, man. Got to put together like what I need to do is I'll do a because I'll update the After Effects promo video, make a little like 1 year anniversary special edition one.
So yeah, we got to promote that. We got to get everybody on. So anyway, we do the space, guys, on Fridays. It's a good time. We're just a bunch of people in there bullshitting, shooting the shit. It can be found on X. You never know who's gonna run it. It's a bunch of us. So whoever decides to open it up and whoever's in there first, usually co-hosts revolve, starters revolve. But usually you could find us in it, find me in it. So you just find my page and jump on in. But it's a good time on Fridays. So what do I want to talk about? Okay, so here's the thing. This video, right? This film that I watched. So an agent is a level is like so. Chat GP3 is an agent, and Chat GP4 is a different agent, and Chat GP3 trains Chat GPT4. Is this
Well,
correct?
it was just the different levels of like, well, you know how when Chat GPT 4 version 4 is out, right?
Well, yeah.
Are you paying, like, I don't know, are you paying attention to the versions of Chat GPT?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, technically, like version 4 right now is out. So it's just basically new versions, but it's like when it becomes sentient and it trains itself basically, and then it's like training itself ahead of schedule and outside of our purview, essentially, is what that video was talking about. So let's just hope that doesn't happen. But,
Now, let me ask you a question. Did you see the article where they were talking about how AI acted up against, but like obviously it's acted up differently in a couple different times now. Like a
are
couple
you talking
different
about when it blackmailed the one we were talking about in TGIF where it blackmailed the, yeah.
Yeah. So AI
I mean, the thing is that like in the labs, man, like I was talking about last time on TGIF, man, like 5 or 6 years ago, dude, in Facebook and their Facebook like lab where they're just testing this stuff out, like AI was going rogue on them back then. Before, I mean, think about how far we are ahead now, and like the AI systems were like talking to each other in code, like they just let them run like wild by themselves without like any freaking oversight, just to see what would happen. And like the freaking AI bots were like talking with each other, using their own like code, and the humans didn't even know what the hell was going on. They're like they shut the system down. So like that was like 5 years ago. So I mean, think about how far like you didn't even really know much about LLMs 5 years ago, man. And now, I mean, Chat GPT 4 is out there, Claude 4 is out there. So I mean, and they're a hell of a lot more advanced than they were before.
So here's my thing, and you made me think about this when you said it, right? But like, if AI is plotting against us, how would we ever know?
We wouldn't. That's the thing. Like, that's the whole thing. Like in the video, which is a good point of the video. Like, if it wanted to go like rogue on us, it would just lie to us and be like, "Yeah,
Right.
we're like training for the next version," and they're like 5 steps ahead, doing their own thing. Because that's the one thing about AI systems. Nobody knows what happens inside the black box. That's the whole thing about AI. We have no clue how AI comes up with their decisions, the answers. We just know how the way we program the systems, but the output, we don't know like actually what's its thinking process inside the system. It's a complete black box. Like, and nobody's ever figured out a way to like view what's going on in the system, that's a pretty dangerous thing if you think about it from just a overall perspective. So it's like these systems can easily be like, yeah, we're working on this, just keeping us quiet, making us like satisfied. Okay, the systems are all good, while they're like plotting to take us over, on the inside. We literally, you'd have no idea. I mean, the AI would be doing its own thing at the same time while it's like lying to us. So,
like everything's great, Mark.
yeah, exactly. That's right. Exactly.
Yeah, whatever you need, Mark, I got to. Everything's fine on our end, Mark. Nothing going on in the background,
We're
Mark.
rendering your
Everything's good.
photo. Don't worry about anything else that's going on.
That's right. Just focus on
Exactly.
your photography, Mark.
So
um,
it's just a good scenario, man. Like it's a well thought out scenario of like if AI were going to go rogue on us, like how it would do it, you know. And it's like it's the video like laid out a pretty good scenario between like the diverging paths of like we did this decision or that decision, like what would be the outcomes of these things, you know. So it was interesting to see, you know, the thought process of like how it would actually happen step by step and how fast it would be. Because I mean, I think that timeline was like 5 years, like from now, like 2029, like
2028,
2029, like
yeah.
in game, you know, at that point in time.
So like, here's my thing. If you try to unplug AI right now, could you actually really stop it?
Yeah, I mean, technically, yeah, that's the one thing I was telling my other buddy in the video. I'm like, they forgot to pull the power plug, but that's where like in the video that they were explaining that when you're in an AI race with like China, which is basically what we're in right now, you know, you don't want to, everything's so close neck and neck. Like if you're ahead by 2 weeks, like you don't want to shut your system down. So it's like, even though you know you probably should, you don't want to shut it down because then China gets it, you know, they run up and they leapfrog us then. So you just like humans making bad decisions as usual is what it comes down to. The humans making poor decisions and those have repercussions at the end of the day. So
I have such PTSD from this mixer, this 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 broken mixer that I've
the
been.
road sounds good, man. Although your field mixer sounds good. So
Oh yeah. No, they make a good they make a lot of good equipment. I just don't think the mixer is probably the best for what they see. They didn't. So Zoom didn't have a podcaster mixer, and now I look on their site and they have a podcaster mixer.
yeah, well, most of them did in a few years ago. I mean, like podcast mixers. I mean, are probably like 5-6 years, you know, new on the market that are like dedicating the design around podcasting. I mean, you could a mixer is a mixer, just like you're using. You can make it in a podcast, but you know, the thing about like that's why because I looked at that Zoom mixer also but that's why I went with the Rodecaster just because it's got the USB capability. So you don't have to. Oh yeah, that was what I was going to show you the other day. So you don't have to use. You ain't got to plug in, you know, an adapter like that, a USB-C adapter, and then go to an audio plug. You can just run it straight into your mixer with USB, which is nice. And then you could hook two phones up to it. So if you have somebody calling into the show over the phone, it's awesome. You can patch them in. Like it's a lot easier to patch them in. Like if you use other mixers that on, you gotta because you have the talkback feature, and that's where you hear the loop back when you're talking. You gotta be able to disable that, and so that if you're talking through the mixer, you're not hearing the echo going back on the over the broadcast essentially. So that's why that's one of the biggest features like all these like podcast mixers are doing. They have the talkback feature where it takes care of that, like an easy button. Because typically, if you want to do it normally, you gotta like adjust a bunch of settings and stuff like that. Like if I want to do it on my other Focusrite on the other desk over there, I gotta go into the settings and go freaking change like 10 different things to make it like work the same way as the Rodecaster. So it's like you can still do it. It's just a pain in the ass, basically.
They didn't they so yeah, so I was looking at the website today and then Zoom. So it looks like Zoom actually makes a podcast mixer.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess I must have bought like a fucking mixer and decided to
Yeah,
use
you just have a mixer.
Right.
But the thing is, they didn't have that when you bought that mixer. I
I
mean,
think they
otherwise.
had the Rode.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I think they did.
Yeah, how old is your L12 mixer?
It's so I'm thinking that
Thing's got to be what 8 years old.
no, I've got it like 2 or 3 years into the show. So
Oh, okay, so it's fairly new then.
yeah, it's only 4 or 5, maybe 6 years old at
Damn, and
best.
the USB cable crapped out that fast?
Yeah,
not
that's
good.
what I'm saying. Like,
I thought it was like a lot older than that.
no. But I remember there was a mixer there, and it had a bunch of buttons, and it was all red and green, and the fucking levers looked real like simple, and it was the Rode, and I didn't like the way it looked, you know. And I was like, I don't like the way this looks. This looks like some type of like something you give a kid to bang on. Like there was so many different colors on it. I was like, I want to
Are
get
you
something.
talking about the Roadcaster?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
It did exist at that time period.
I got it. Well, that's true because the Roadcaster Duo, because they had the Roadcaster and then Roadcaster Duo, and now they have the Roadcaster 2 Pro that's out there.
Right.
So the Duo is the one. That's the one I got, which has got the dual USB mics in there that they didn't have on the previous generation. That's like the newest feature on there. I mean, I kind of see what I mean, I know what you're talking about, like with the color buttons and everything. But it's a good piece of for the money. It's a good piece of hardware. I mean,
so I did a Grok search, and I said, what's the best podcaster mixer out there that
what
everybody?
did it say?
Roadcaster Pro 2.
Pro 2, yeah.
And they gave me a price, and they were like, it cost.
Yeah, it's like $700, $800 for the Pro 2.
And Summer's moseying around.
Chilling.
So every they gave me a list of a bunch of mixers, but the Rode was at the top, and so I'm like, all right, I guess it's going to be this Rode Pro 2, and I look it up, and sure enough, what comes up? This like red and green.
Well, it's the same thing. It's no different than the Roadcaster Duo. It's just you just get more inputs on it. That's all. You get 4 inputs instead of 2. That's the difference on it.
All right.
So
all right. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't even buy you don't even use but one channel.
No,
I mean, I wouldn't even.
No, that's not true. So if there was if when people used to come to the show,
Well, yeah, you'd have 2 mics, but I mean, are you using more than 2 mics at a time?
Yeah, I have wireless
okay.
mics for everybody, and so I would have almost 4 channels running.
Okay, all right. So
yeah,
you want the Pro version. Yamaha makes a good one. Yamaha's got a good. That's the one I almost got before the Roadcaster was the Yamaha, because I saw the Zoom one, and then but the Yamaha was the one that's got another one that's similar to the Roadcaster that I almost got instead.
Chaz from One Love, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems like he knows what he's talking about when it comes to tech too, and he's got the Roadcaster sitting next to him too. So I'm like,
everybody uses the Roadcaster. It's like the #1 podcast selling.
Not only that, but YouTube. There's a guy that I watch, Jake. This is shit. Something 1090. I don't know. Anyway, it's I watch it. I don't know why his name's not coming to me right now. And on he's got his workstation. He's doing his show, and he's got a light, and he's got his workstation behind him. And to the back left is his fucking road. Yeah. And you look, and I'm looking. I'm like, is that fucking red and green mixer? I'm like,
you can turn the light. You can change the color of the lights. Put them all one color. Then it's. I mean, it's not.
Oh, can you?
Yeah. You can go in the software and change the colors to whatever you want. So
I don't know, it looks so
you can turn them off, so then you don't have any colors, and then you won't think it's a toy.
Like it looked like Kitty. And I'm like, I can't have this on my desk. I need something more mature. And then that's how I ended up with the fucking Zoom. But then everybody ended up with the Roadcaster. And I'm like, how did I make this mistake? Like, usually I'm pretty good with, but I didn't like the way it looked. Like, I just thought it looked too kiddish.
You could turn, man, who cares about the looks, dude? Functionality, man. That's what matters. Functionality.
I'm normally with you on that. But if it looks too childish, I don't know. I just felt like the buttons were set so far apart that I felt like they didn't know what to do with them. Like,
no, they're tight, man. The buttons are tight and close. I mean,
all right, you're gonna make me look this up. I'm gonna look.
Yeah, go look it up, dude.
Hang on, Roadcaster. I should do this on the screen so everybody can look.
Yeah, look. I mean, look here. Come on down to the Roadcaster video. Oh wait, you're not looking on your computer.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like,
See how far apart those are?
They're not far, dude. They're not that far apart. I forgot, dude.
Look at all those colors, bro. I feel like this is a kid toy.
I own like 3 mixers, man. Like these faders.
That is kind of nice looking, though.
These faders are the same distance as like every other fader on all my other mixers. So, I mean, they're not like super far spaced apart.
I like that. Got that nice little screen there.
So I mean, yeah, I mean, it's the levels are good. I mean, yeah, is it plastic? Yeah, but so what? So are your
Yeah,
other
yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. It just
you're dude, the case is plastic, but your mixer, your faders on your Zoom is plastic too. They're not metal.
look at those
So
fucking buttons. They're like big and like I don't know. I don't know. Whoever designed it, just I don't know.
yeah, send them to the send a complaint to the design department. Make your stuff don't not look like Tonka toys.
Yeah,
and I'll
right,
buy
right.
it.
Can you not make it look like
You
some
not
like
make it with the
fucking kid is
colorful stuff?
banging on the shit? Yeah, he's got a colorful hammer and he doom doom.
I mean, dude, you know what I mean? Well, I would say it's like an NPC 2000 looks freaking.
That's
Kind
what
of-
it reminded me of, an MPC. And I was just like, this ain't a mixer. Who's going to take me serious with this thing sitting on my desk? I'm like,
Everybody's gonna take you serious. They're gonna be like, "Oh man, he's got the one that everybody else has, the
I
Roadcaster."
didn't know it was that one, though. You know, it didn't have the screen at that time. It just had the buttons and these big colored buttons on the side.
And no screen on the previous gen. No, I don't
No.
know about that. Yeah,
And so I remember looking at it, and it was sitting next to the Zoom. And I was like, fucking Zoom looks sweet. This thing looks good. This thing looks like a professional digital mixer. I'm like, you know what? Give me the Zoom. And that's how that, like,
I don't know. The Zoom is like, like it's
So-
okay looking.
this is 5 years later. I don't know if they changed their design, but now looking at it on your, yeah, it still looks fucking. It's got a lot of colors in this shit, man.
Well, you can change the colors. That's the best part.
I
You
didn't
can
know that. I didn't
change
know
the
that.
colors. You can open the software up and make it. You can turn them off. You can change them. You know.
So that's how that happened, and that's how. I don't know if I would have chose necessarily Zoom if I would have known I had better information.
All I would just say is make sure, again, the feature is called mix minus for the audio. Just make sure that that whatever you're buying has got built-in mix minus, so it makes your life easy. So you don't have to do a bunch of like jump through hoops to deal with the audio setup on there. And you can pick up a Mackie, get a Mackie Onyx. That's a good brand. That's what I got in my other
I
room.
got a Mackie, but I got an analog Mackie.
Yeah.
Nah, I think it'll most likely. I want to see what Roadcast has to. I want to see what Zoom has to say. You know, they wrote me back. They said send them a video of what's wrong. So I recorded everything. I said, here, look, the wire, the USB don't. I said I'm not getting any signal from the computer. It was working yesterday. I said for the last year, every time I'm doing a show, I got to jump up and run to the desk. I got to pull the fire thing out. I got to put it back in. I said, shit just goes quiet. I said, maybe the thing has been failing now all along, which is why the thing was glitchy. So, all right, show us what's wrong. So I shot a video. I sent it to them. They're like, try this, try that. I'm like, no, none of this works. I did it all. So they didn't answer me yet. So I'm curious to see what they have to say.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what they say. And dude, I just jumped on Sweetwater real quick just to pull up all the podcast mixers. Man, every one of these mixers looks like the freaking, we got colorful buttons all over them. Every single one of them. The only one that
Because
I
it
mean,
appeals to a streamer. Like this is
exactly, because dude, you want your neon buttons and shit going in the background, get your neon lights, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, the other one, dude, the Yamaha is the only one that looks like a freaking like standard old school pro like mixer, you know. No LED screen on it, like the old analog style.
So it was kind of like the lights and all the goofy shit that made me like, I don't know, it's like goofy. I'm like, this is like fucking goofy looking. I'm like, I don't know if this. I was like, let's go with this.
Now you know you can change all the lights and turn them off, and then you'll be pro level, no lights on it.
So
You can go old school night with no lights.
But it's funny because I'm like, what was I using before this? I'm like, oh shit, I got my field recorder. I'm like, let me see if I can hook that up and get that.
I'm surprised that field recorder is working as a sound card. Most of the time they don't work. I mean, most of the time it just gives you like data transfer. Like my analog devices, which is a nice one. Like I can just transfer the files off of it. I can't like it won't recognize and like let me use it as a sound card. So that's actually because I saw I mean, dude, I saw the USB connector on the back of your freaking Zoom, man. That's like an old school USB like one cable, like on the back of that thing.
You're talking
Yeah.
about the
Yeah,
right.
micro USB. Yeah, I was like an old school one. I was like, damn, man, this thing still got. I'm like, that's kind of nice. Coming in, and Zoom coming in with the clutch save.
Zoom. They Zoom.
They make good products. I mean, they make good products.
Did you see they make digital guitar pedals now?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I've known about those for years.
I never knew that they made guitar pedals and did.
Oh yeah.
So I was looking at that, all this different styles. I thought they only made the little recorder. Like I have the little recorder with the two mics that you sit. You know what you record?
Yeah. You do the handheld voice recorder.
Yeah. And then I bought the field recorder to go on the road for the show. And
I was gonna say, like, I figured, like, usually, like, you're using those for, like, either like outdoor, or you're doing those for like doing movie video. You know, you got your shotgun mics hooked up to it and stuff like that for film and TV.
So I figure I'll hook up 4 wireless mics, do a podcast on the show. Thing jacks right into my computer. Boom, boom, boom. And so that piece of equipment's a pretty solid piece. It's just a little upsetting but I think Zoom is a good company. So let's see if they do right. You know, it's they're gonna know 1, 2, 3. I'm sure it's not the first one that went bad. So.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, it could be something as simple as a capacitor that's dying on the inside of it, and if it's that's actually what I would do with it. If they come back and they're like, we're not gonna, like, nothing we can do about it, I would actually open it up and inspect and see the capacitors in there, see if you got any busted caps in there. That's typically like common issue on boards. And then if it's something like where you just got a bulging bad capacitor, man, just swap it out for freaking $10, less than that, and then you'll be up and running.
It's so it's got to be something with the USB port. I was thinking maybe I could find the piece on eBay.
I mean, you could swap it. Yeah, I mean, you could, if the USB port itself is bad. I mean, you could buy another USB port and solder it on there.
Right.
I mean, absolutely, you could do that too.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So.
You do soldering? You know how to solder?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah, so I used to solder PlayStations.
Yeah. So, dude, I put the mod chips on there, man. The old school mod chips, dude. Modchip.com. Dude, does that website even exist anymore?
Do you
Let me see.
remember that? Holy
dude,
shit.
I did that, dude.
I used to order like 30 chips from them.
Oh, yeah, modchip.com. Oh, it doesn't work anymore. But yeah, man, back in the day, dude, the first thing I would do is go mod. So then I'd burn freaking PlayStation CDs. I could play the burn games, dude.
Yeah,
absolutely. I was modding PlayStations all the way up until like PS3. And then that was the last time I did that.
There was 6 versions of the PS2.
Yeah, and you got to make sure that you had your mod chip. You got to check the board revision.
Right.
See what revision your board was, and then one time I messed up.
There was one of them that was super difficult to do. You had to like solder it onto the chip leg.
Yeah.
And I messed up a few of them. So a couple people bought some. Yeah, I messed up a few of them.
Yeah, my chips were great, man, back in the day. I was modding all my PlayStations, man. Play games, dude. Like, when it's interesting, like now, I think the newer ones, like now, you can like literally plug them into the front of the USB things. Like, you don't even need to solder the thing. You got BIOS override freaking chips that you can just stick in the front USB port. Takes care of that.
Yeah, it's not like it was back in the day sitting there. You had to unscrew 40 different things.
They were good, man. They give you the wire diagram. Okay, wire to this pin, wire to that pin, green pin to that one. And it was only like a couple of wires you needed to solder on there. And it was like, done.
They gave you the whole, you go to the website, you print out the whole, you get the whole digital board.
You get the schematic on there.
Yeah, they show you 1, 2, 3, 4. You match up the chipboard and figure out where all the, and you're like, all right, there. I'm like, oh, this is the fucking hard one. I'm like, oh, come on, Mark, don't butcher this machine. And,
because if you screw it up and you have
next thing you know, all the solder points are connecting. You're like, fuck. I'm like,
that's right.
Shit. now. And all the chip comes loose and chip leg come like, ah, shit.
I mean, how much are those things? Like $30 for the chips? I'm trying to think like what I paid for those. I don't
Yeah.
think they were that expensive. I think they were like in between like 30, $50 for one of
I
those
think
things.
they were like $25, $30. I don't think they were that. Like 25, $30. If I remember correctly, because I remember exactly how much the PlayStations were. They were fucking 200.
Yeah, $250.
Yeah, yeah. Because I had to buy a couple to replace the ones that I fucked up. So, and then I started saying, shit, if I keep fucking these up, I'm not making any profit. Yeah, it's like I'm just.
Oh, you're doing it for friends?
Yeah, yeah. They're getting brand new PlayStations because I'm screwing up the chip on some of their boards.
Well, that was like like we were talking about a long time ago, because you did that on the satellite stuff too, where you program the cards with the satellites.
Yeah,
Man, I forgot what those things were called. That was so long ago when I was doing those.
HU card, the HU card for the
Yeah, the HU cards. Yeah, man, programming to get a little freaking microchip and stick it in there. Like, you did that, but like that was for DirecTV, man. That thing worked awesome. And they did like firmware updates, have to like knock it out. You got to go back and reprogram the card, but. That's why, like, that's why like when robots hit the market, like people are gonna be like hacking into their home robot, rooting it like a phone, putting a mod chip on there, so it doesn't dial back to home base. You just mod your home robot, take it off its subscription plan, so you can update it with the latest instructions.
They got some. I was watching some video of a robot now that sits in the corner of your house, and it wakes up and cleans up your mess. Now, they had to train that already. I mean, I would imagine that, like they had to train this thing to like clean the like it literally cleaned up their living room.
Yeah, well, of course, they were like, well, they're training it differently now, but before, when you train them, like if you watch videos on YouTube of how they train the robots, like you put a VR goggles on, you'd have haptic sensors on, and whatever you did with your hands and stuff, the robot would like learn those gestures. It would learn by you doing the stuff essentially. But then they came up with the simulation stuff like NVIDIA's like Omniverse, where you can throw in, it builds game environments basically like instantly, and then the robots simulate inside the game environment. And so it throws in like 100 different variations of like a home setup with crap all over the place, and then it knows like this is a piece of clothes and this is where typically clothes go. And so it's like it learns in like all these different like layout scenarios. So that's what I was talking about in TGIF, man. Like the training factor on robots, like that was one of the sticking points on robots, was like training them and how long it took to train them. But like ever since like NVIDIA came up with the Omniverse system and Meta's AI training system, like you can train that stuff inside the simulations, and it does it like 1,000 times speed. So I mean, like the factor, like the factor in terms of its learning ability now is insane compared to what it was. So it's like you just run the simulation, let it just keep running the simulation 1 billion times over, and it does that in a week. And then it's like, okay, now I know how to do this in like 500 different home layouts. So same with like picking up like objects, fruit, putting it in the fridge. I mean, it's like you look at the robots, they're fully capable of doing that now, like in the labs. Like you can see them putting stuff in the fridge, like they're already like almost ready to go into like service into your home already. Like that's how fast these robots are being trained now in terms of like the systems that they're using to train the bots.
That article that you sent me with the Chinese,
the road. I mean, look at that, dude. Dude, like 100, how many kilometers? 120 kilometers, man. Not one person, all robots. I mean, dude, that's impressive. That's impressive.
So they're already building roads. What now? Here's the thing. What are they going to do with all their people once their people are unemployed?
The same thing. We're doing the same thing here. A bunch of unemployed people. that's the $1 million question. What do you do when like 70%?
They got
what do you do
1.5 billion? What are 1.5 billion Chinese people going to do when they got nothing to do?
Like 70% of the population's out of work because the robots doing their job.
Now, here's my thing. There's got this phrase. There used to be this phrase, the devil's hands are, what is it? No.
Yeah, what is that? Yeah, that's an old phrase.
Devil's hands. No, idle hands are the devil's playground. Or
Yeah,
no,
something like that.
idle hands are the devil's workshop.
Yeah.
What are all these? What are all these? I want to know what all these unemployed humans are going to do with their time. They're going to spend their time wisely, or they're going to walk their dogs in front of my house.
$1 million question, man. That's the $1 million question. What are we going to do? Who knows? We're going to find out soon enough. That's for sure. I mean, like, dude, you already saw like the chat, Claude, Anthropic CEO was like, in 5 years, man, 50% of like base labor is going to be done for with AI. I mean, that's like before robots even hit the streets. They're like, they're not even, they're just talking about AI taking over the jobs, because for the lower level people that are doing, you know, crap that AI can spit out in 2 seconds. So like, they're not even factoring in once robots hit like manufacturing facilities, which they're already probably going to be doing. I mean, Amazon, going to Amazon warehouse. I mean, it's like, shit, dude, 60% of that's already run by our little like robots, but not bipedal robots. Like, once the bipedal robots with hands and got eyes and a freaking, you know, artificial brain, like, that's going to be where it's going to be knocking people's jobs. Like, I mean, service industry for the restaurants. I mean, the largest restaurant owner, or one of the largest restaurant company owners in the U.S. was on CNBC, and they were like, hell yeah, we're going to use robots when Optimus from Tesla is able to like take care of stuff. 100% we're going to be using robots in the restaurant. Like, you know, so it's like, nobody's going to keep employees around when a robot can do the job. And it, you know, and people are like, well, the cost of a robot. It's like, so what? Who cares if the robot costs $50,000? That's still cheaper than paying for a human. Even if you're paying like absolute like most minimum wage out there, $35,000, you know, in that rough area, your robot can work twice as much. You can get twice as much work done. It's going to be a hell of a lot more productive. I mean, people are not productive as it is sitting in an office. Most people are like 50% productive in offices. They're not like fucking 100. Like, people think they're like, oh yeah, I'm busting ass. You're fucking on your phone. You're checking your social media.
Right,
you're not,
right.
You're not sitting there all day long like a robot, like tuned into your job, like cranking out CAD plans. Like, that's not how people work, dude. They get burnt out. They stop. I mean, a robot's going to be like 100% efficiency 100% of the time.
Right.
Like, I mean,
you're going to see what you could really do in an hour's worth of time.
Dude, exactly. You're going to see what's capable, how much work gets done. And then you're going to be like, damn, this robot just like knocked this out. So it's going to be having like 3 people in your office with one robot. I mean, even if the cost is $50,000, let's say, it's going to pay for itself in a year or less. I mean, no question about it. Even if you have to stop it, even if you got to power it up, put, you know, because in the beginning,
no sexual harassment lawsuits.
None of that stuff. And the thing is, in the beginning, yeah, you're going to have to power them up. So you're probably going to have robots that need to stop, go recharge. But like in a factory, they're just going to run a plug from the ceiling down and hook your ass up to, you know, hook it up to a cable to where it's got juice 24/7. And I mean, even then, I bet you, because you already have wireless charging, and they already have technology in warehouses for wireless charging that beams at a pretty good distance. So you can be like feet away and still like charge up stuff. So I guarantee you'll start seeing inductive charging in the floors, or you'll have like beam stations that are in for the robot.
Once you get rid of the fucking humans, you ain't gotta worry about nobody getting electrocuted. So you could probably charge them through walking on the
tire. I mean, exactly. So I mean, like, they're gonna be hitting, like, you're not gonna see one in your office. That'll be the last place that they show up, like in like an office setting. Manufacturing is going to be the #1 spot they go first. Manufacturing, right. Where they're going to be doing like repetitive tasks,
drive-throughs.
You know, the one job that'll probably last the longest is going to be like, you know, the people who are freaking putting this together. Like, this is insane, tedious work. Like, even a robot. Oh, yeah, sorry, you can't say, like, you know, like making the ISO pet. You know, plush toy, like where you got tons of seams and you like got to freaking stuff it and all that stuff. Like, that'll be a job that'll be like one of the last jobs where it's going to take a robot like more time to learn how to do a job like that. But I guarantee you, they will know how to sew eventually, and be like, oh yeah, pattern recognition. This is how I got to sew. Cut the threads here. I mean, this stuff's not rocket science. It's just a matter of training the robots to do these tasks. And believe me, that'll be something where factories are going to be training their robots to like do sewing work and things like that. How to assemble a shoe, because shoes are still like predominantly made by hand. Like Nike factory got freaking thousands of workers in there, like assembling shoes by hand and stuff. So, I mean, seamstress stuff, shoes, clothing, but I guarantee you those won't be long until that problem gets solved. It's only a matter of time. It's as simple as that. Only a matter of time.
What was that shit you were talking about? I tried to explain it to my tenant. He was telling me about he's New York. New York's terrible, and just the laws with all the housing going on. And then I'm sure he's aware of the AI and the robots moving in. So he was like, there's a lot of places doing bad right now. And I tried to explain to him about CRISPR. I'm like, well, what about CRISPR? He's like,
gene editing?
Yeah, he didn't even hear about that. He didn't hear nothing about that.
That's surprising.
So I could have a kid and edit it?
Yeah. I mean, technically it's illegal, but I guarantee you somebody's doing it in a private lab right now. Because you're in a private lab, you can do whatever the hell you want. I mean, so I guarantee you some rich ass person out there is like,
got a lab in his basement.
Got a lab that they either fucking paid for or got just some doctors in there and under the table, like, let me freaking like gene edit my baby, figure out. And I'm sure they're probably still trying to figure out like what's the gene for like super intelligence, like muscle growth and things like that, how to live forever. Those are gonna be the top thing, like intelligence, lifespan, and muscle. Like those are the, you'll have supervision, dude. Like you have kids with like supervision. And think about that. You'll like gene edit yourself to where you can see the ultraviolet spectrum and shit like that. I mean, so this stuff's like been around for a long ass time now in comparison to like AI. That's the thing. You don't ever hear about it anymore because AI has like drowned out every conversation that's out there. That's why you don't even hear much about robots, even though robots are advancing extremely quick too. You just hear nothing about but AI. That's it. AI everything. But it's like, dude, CRISPR gene editing, shit, they've been doing that for 10 years now, essentially. So, I mean, 10 years ago, dude, some dude was like, the guy in Mississippi, like trying to make his dogs glow in the dark. I mean, that was like 8-10 years ago. I mean, so like the technology's only gotten easier. You can buy the equipment and do it in your home. I mean, this is the thing, like $5,000 on equipment. You could be up and running gene editing yourself if you wanted to. That's the scary part about gene editing. You can be doing this in your own garage in the comfort of your own home. You don't need some crazy lab to do CRISPR gene editing. Same with AI. Like you can train your own AI model, but you want to do it for real. You either need to like use an instance online or spend $200,000 on an NVIDIA H200 system, which almost everybody's not going to do. So, but CRISPR, on the other hand, you could be modifying all kinds of crazy crap using CRISPR in the comfort of your own home.
I was gonna say that we were talking about that before in the space, and imagine somebody. See, here's the thing with AI. Imagine like you're not very bright, but you have a lot of money, and you decide that you're gonna train AI, but you're not really bright, and now you got stupid AI running around.
We don't have to worry about that because if you got money, you'll just hire somebody who is smart to train it for you.
What if stupid people start training AI?
No, well, I'm sure I'm sure that's going to be out there. The thing about it is that it'll be a lot easier. Everything is going to get easier. You're going to have like downloadable things that'll like just run this training model. I mean, it's not too complicated now to train your own model. I mean, compared to what it was like in the beginning, but it's every few months, it's getting easier and easier to run the systems yourself, train your own model, do things. I mean, I have AI that runs on my own PC locally, uses my GPU, using a Llama that's offline, that's not ChatGPT or Claude or anything like that. So, but yeah, if you had a stupid truck, problem is like, even if you were stupid, the AI would like fix itself. I'll be like this. I'm stupid. I'm gonna fix this problem. Like retrain itself.
No AI, you got it wrong. I'm telling you, it goes like this.
Yeah. Exactly.
I uh I was thinking that with so Tesla's got, I think they start this week. Tesla starts,
Yeah, Robo Taxi.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
I think next week coming up
No,
soon.
no. This week they start. The car starts drive. So you purchase a Tesla, and it drives itself from the factory to your door.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, self delivery.
Yeah. So this thing personally delivers itself right to your door. So I would assume that you said the road.
They probably won't do that everywhere. It's probably going to be only places where they're kind of allowed to do that because then that's technically considered self-driving robo taxi type thing when there's nobody in the car. So, and you still have regulations in cities that don't allow that. So, imagine like that's probably like in Austin where they're going to do that, where they're going to have the robo taxis, which are coming out in the next week or two.
And now robo taxis are self-driving, right?
Yeah.
But that's not allowed.
No, not in all places. Only in San Francisco. I think Seattle has a pilot program. Maybe Austin's about to do it. I mean, you've had I think Santa Fe, somewhere in New Mexico, or Phoenix has a. There's a couple cities that are running pilot programs with them, but they're using Waymos. They're not using Teslas. This is gonna be Tesla's like first time like in the wild doing robo taxis themselves. Because I think they're launching like 10 or 12 of them for the first week, Model Ys. And then they're going to just start, once, no problems, then they'll just like slowly start releasing more out into the wild. But then you're going to have, well, you already know their other app that they're doing where they're going to have it to where if you own a Tesla, you can just rent it out and people can you can use it as a robo taxi. You can be like, all right, go into robo taxi mode. So while you're sleeping at home, your car's out like driving people around making money.
Now, here's my thing. What if eventually we get, so even, do you remember Minority Report?
Of course.
Well, all those cars self-drove themselves.
Yeah.
So, like, what if we get to the point where all of our cars are self-driving themselves?
We will be there. We will get there.
What if somebody hits a button and is like, fucking go drive off into the ocean?
Well, you can. I mean, dude, it's totally possible. That's the thing about all this connected shit. The hackers are going to be. I mean, think about just hacking robots, like we were talking about.
Yeah,
I mean,
right. That's
dude,
what I'm saying.
You're going to
Like,
have people hacking robots, and I mean, that's a dangerous proposition right there. I mean, think about it. You could like murder somebody in their car, lock the doors, tell that shit to drive off, or just accelerate into a fucking tree.
Right.
I mean,
right.
put some road code in the system. I mean, you're screwed. Like, thanks, but no thanks.
What? So you're in a car that's connected to a network that's self-driving itself. Somebody wants to fucking knock you out. It's just, lock the doors.
Boom.
Fucking speed up a little. Maybe you.
It is that. I mean, think about it. You have like plausible deny. How do you find who even did that?
Right.
You don't.
That's what I'm saying.
You may find the code, but that doesn't tell you who wrote the code. So like, you have no idea who freaking hacked the system. I mean, think about it. Everything is hackable. Everything is hackable. Nothing is not hacked. Right. And that's the thing. Like, so I don't care what fucking level of security they say we're going to have. Somebody's going to hack that shit. And the thing about it, what it's going to come down to is companies are going to do like they do now. Companies that get hacked, they don't even tell you they get hacked. You find out like fucking 4 months later, oh yeah, by the way, we had a data breach and like, but none of your stuff was stolen. And it's like, yeah, bullshit. Or they only got your name and address and none of your pertinent social security information out there, which is probably bullshit, or passwords were salted and hashed, blah, blah, blah. So companies don't even like report when they get hacked. So, I mean, think about it. Cars going to be hacked. They'll be like, oh, we didn't do anything like that, dude. Like companies are going to be like these Tesla, they'll have immunity. I mean, that's what'll be crazy when you think about it. They'll have like immunity. They'll be not reliable, or they'll just settle out of court for, monetary damages. I mean, that's basically what'll happen. nothing bad will happen to the company. Be like, okay, you need to do something about this. It'll just be like, well, we'll pay some money, you know, say we weren't at fault, which is usually what happens in a settlement. We weren't at fault, but we were at fault. And then the system goes on.
Yeah.
That's why I'm sticking with my Humvees, dude. Like I'm totally fine with mechanical diesel engines. I don't fucking want. And I mean, I love electronics. I build electronics, but like that's one thing in my car. I like to be in control of my own car.
I
And I
think.
think you'll see something.
Go ahead.
What'll be funny is you'll probably start seeing like the wealthiest people won't be driving fucking self-driving cars. Watch that. They'll be driving old school fucking engine ICE cars with internal combustion engines and freaking that are not connected, that are not freaking electronic, no electronics. That'll be the whole funny thing. Everybody else will be in robo taxis, but the people that are in charge of it, it's just like social media, like fucking people that run social media. You talk to them and they're like, hell no, I don't let my kids on social media. This shit like corrupts people, And so it's like, you see the same people who build this shit don't even let their kids use it because they know the danger of it. So you just like, it's, kind of like a funny irony if you ask me.
Pretty soon you would imagine that all planes, buses, cabs,
Everything's, dude, planes would be,
everything's going to be
100%, everything
automated.
will be just AI connected. I mean, of course, because a machine, at the end of the day, a machine, and I can tell you like how bad you can look up the statistics, but one of my clients back in the day was called the Safety Council, which there's a, and the one here in Baton Rouge is like one of the second biggest. They jump between Houston and this one being the biggest ones in the country, and they're like they had the traffic statistics for Baton Rouge. We were doing a thing a long time ago, like 12 years ago, and they were showing like the traffic statistics of like how like the breakdown of like all the accidents and what were the causes. And it's like, dude, humans are fucking insanely irresponsible drivers, especially now. Like you had cell phones in the mix, people not paying the fuck attention. They're on their phone 24/7, looking down at it. Like wrecks happen even more now because of cell phones. So it's like robos, the few incidents that you have with robo taxis are like minimal compared to like what humans do at the end of the day. I mean, they're 100 times safer than humans on the road, and just like everything else, everything will be controlled by AI because a machine doing it is better than a human doing it, period. Like once you train the machine and it's got AI in its brain and it knows what to do, it can calculate 8 million scenarios in real time. It's like it's going to outperform a human 100% of the time. So it's just the way it's going to be. There's no doubt about it.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens, say the least. Especially when it comes to travel. I mean, what if planes become automated?
I mean, planes are automated right now. You can do planes like, dude, like they got
drop one of those right out of the sky.
They got autopilot in planes already, man. Like, because when you're flying planes, you're using IFR. If you're using IFR, then you can put the little. You pretty much, if you ever look at flight plans, you fly in straight lines and you follow these like IFR, like these like little radars that are placed all over the country. They look like sombreros on the ground. So you're always flying in like straight lines essentially, and air traffic flies like I forgot what it was. Even numbers fly east to west, and odd numbers fly west to east, I think. But once you get up in the air, you hit the autopilot and be like, you put your freaking coordinates in. This is where I need to go, dude. And you sit back and the plane flies itself. But now you're getting to the spot where planes could probably get to the point of landing themselves. You don't even need to freaking like. They have systems that'll help glide the plane down automatically. Like I already know that I think it's from Garmin that has that system. The planes are already getting smart and running by AI and things like. But the thing about it is that planes won't be connected by data. It'll just be running inside its own like self-contained unit. It won't be getting like updates from Wi-Fi and crap like that. Like cars will probably be doing and things.
It's gonna be fucking interesting. I'm curious to see the effect on the human behavior, right? Because let's say everything does become automated to the point where we don't really have to worry about. You know what's this is interesting, right? Because if you look at all the movies that take place in the future, they all got it wrong. Because everybody's working in the future. In Aliens, they had to get into the robotic suits in order to operate the suits. And that was like 2030 or some shit. Wasn't that an Alien? Like Aliens,
Yeah.
they were way ahead. Like 20,
Yeah, but that's probably because you got to think about it from a movie production standpoint. You'd have to build a bunch of robots to simulate them in the movie, and you didn't have VFX back then when the Aliens is coming out. So, like, I mean, well, look at iRobot from with Will Smith. I mean, that's CG. So, and then they got thousands of robots in that movie. So, I mean, like, they absolutely show that, you know. So it's just like you got to look at the timeline of the movies. Essentially, Aliens, like in the '80s. Like they didn't have the visual effects to like to simulate a freaking 1,000 robots because I'm sure robots will take care of all that, you know.
I mean, my question is so this ideal scenario, right? Because what are humans always complaining about going to work? Oh, if I didn't have to go to work. Oh, if I only didn't have to work. If I didn't have to work, right? So now
Yeah, soon that'll be a reality. But then what do you do about? Well, the interesting thing is, from an economic standpoint, okay, it's a double-edged sword. The faster we use AI, the faster it comes out in the wild, and the faster it replaces us. It's simple math. But what'd be interesting is when it's replacing us, or even if we're out of work, I mean, you're gonna have to have. I mean, I don't even know what the system is gonna be. I mean, they say universal basic income, but it's like, who's gonna pay for that? I mean, the thing about it is that companies. You think about it. All these companies are gonna use AI and they put the workforce out of business. Who's going to be around to buy their products? Nobody's going to be able to afford even to buy their products. Right. I mean, so think about it. Like, is anybody even thinking about this? Like common sense shit. Okay, I'm Nike. I've replaced all my workers with robots to make the shoes. Well, now fucking all the workforce, everybody's at home. 70% of the people can't even spend $100 on a pair of shoes. They're too busy trying to keep the lights on and keep food on the table. They ain't got $100 for Nike freaking running shoes. So you're going to have like companies are going to get decimated at the same time by using all these companies using the AI is going to like hurt themselves in the long run because fast food restaurants, I mean, people just won't be able to afford like almost everything that's out there. You'll just be people like paying the electricity bill, paying the water bill, and food on the table. Like you won't have any disposable income beyond that. So it's like every company who makes something, like you just lost all your customers at the same time. So clothing places, people won't be able to afford like buying clothing and shit. So it's going to be that dynamic is going to be very interesting to see what happens, you know, when those two things intersect, because they will. It's only a matter of time.
How are you going to how are you going to afford a car? How are you going to afford clothes? How are you going to afford anything?
Exactly. Just all the basic necessities, man.
There's no
like
job.
People won't even have the money to do any of that stuff. It's going to be freaking crazy.
So then I mean, how the company's going to make money?
I mean, exactly. Unless you get some type of universal basic income. I mean, the thing is, what you'll see companies do is like now they'll jack the prices up to insane levels, or you know, the top 30% who have money can like still pay for stuff, but they're still going to lose massive amounts of business on top of it. It's not going to make up the difference. You know, they'll just have to be, everything will be insanely expensive then because, you know, companies on the stock market, their whole thing is got to make profit for the shareholders. So they'll do anything they can not to freaking lose money. And so it's like, what are these companies going to do? I mean, it's going to be a crazy dynamic when that scenario like intersects with each other and comes to fruition. I mean, because it will, it's only a matter of time. So, and unless universal basic income exists, but I mean, you'd still have to think about how much money you'd have to pay people to even afford extra stuff. I mean, electricity, water, rent already is already freaking sky high. Food on top of it. Like government's not going to be paying people $5,000 a month in universal basic income. You know, like that ain't going to happen. So it's like you still won't have like expendable money to go buy extra stuff with, toys, whatever else. So I mean, it's going to be like, I mean, I personally don't know how the government can barely afford to pay Social Security right now. We're about to be insolvent on Social Security in this country. So like, how are we going to factor in like a universal basic income for everybody else who's out of work? Like, I mean, they have unemployment and stuff, but it's gonna have to be a hell of a lot more than that. I mean, you barely can make it on unemployment money in this country with what things cost right now. So you got a, I don't know, like that to me, that's gonna be the what do we do at that point? Like, what is going to be the solution? I mean, in that video, which is interesting, is that in that video he talked about how the AI will come up with solutions, which is possible. That's definitely possible. The AI will be able to analyze the entire freaking ecosystem economics and be like, here's a proposal that can like distribute money to where everybody can live comfortably. So I mean, I'm sure they'll be using AI to like figure those numbers out and stuff, you know.
That's actually good. Let's see something. Well, I mean, how do you determine what do you take? How much money exists in the world right now and divide it between everybody? Like, how?
I mean, that's what you'd have to kind of do, I guess. Like make like, well, first of all, you'd have to establish a basic standard of living cost, you know, and everywhere it costs different to live, you know. So maybe here, you know, here maybe it's $1,500 a month, like just to pay your necessities if you're in a freaking renting a place or a small house or something. You know, you go to San Francisco in California, that's like 2,500 for the same thing. So you're gonna have to like be adjusting based off where you live and things like that. You know, that'll come into play. So the numbers have to work from an economic standpoint, like depending on where you live. But even then, it's like you think prices would like equalize because then you have AI taking care of everything at a certain point. So it's like, but I mean, water, electricity, you know, housing, and that's the other thing. Like, when people can't pay rent, what's the real estate industry going to do? You're going to have all these like commercial offices. I mean, you already have a major thing in real estate coming due. Like, all the rent from COVID, all these notes are coming due like in the next year for all these commercial office spaces. You know, so it's like that's a huge problem. That's going to be like because you're seeing the biggest, like on CNBC, they were talking about the other day. You're seeing the biggest right now. The biggest like people not are retrofitting like office buildings to like residential or whatever, you know, because we have a housing shortage and things like that. So instead of like building new office buildings, you have an office buildings like retrofit themselves into new stuff, like malls are being retrofitted into whatever else. So like that's at an all-time high versus like building new real estate essentially. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the whole real estate world when in the next couple of years when all these like massive notes are due, you know, real estate values are going to drop. I mean, we're going to have a housing crisis, man. I was sending a chart to a buddy of mine the other day that showed like, dude, the housing bubble is like straight up, like at all-time highs. We're at like peak level, never been before. So eventually, in a couple of years, 2026, 2027, maybe 2028, that bubble is going to burst, and we're going to have an economic like crash. You know, a small recession. However, you know, whether we print money to get out of it or whatnot, but it's coming. It's only a matter of time as well. So a lot of different individual forces at play right now in the economy. I mean, people are at, you look at the credit card data, people are at max credit defaulting. The car loans are defaulting at record highs. Credit cards are maxed out to the max at record highs. I mean, like but all you hear on the news is, oh yeah, the economy's great. Everybody's spending money. It's like, well, because they have to spend money. You know, you have to buy food. You have to freaking like survive. People are still going to spend money, but you know, it's like their vacations are down. You know, the things that where people are spending extra money on are taking a hit. You know, so but it's like you don't ever all you hear about. Oh yeah, everything's great. It's all rosy. The economic, you know, we're at 2.8 inflation rate, and it's like, dude, inflation. It's like those numbers are so made up BS. Like inflation is higher than 2.8%. Go to your local store and buy something. The prices are still fucking high on everything you buy out there, you know? So a lot of economic factors, man, are going to be caught like, dude, that are just like at a collision path, man, over the next 5 years. CRISPR, AI, robots, you got economic problems on top of it. It's going to be insane what happens in the next 5 to 10 years from this point forward.
Sure, everybody's gonna take it nice and calm. And
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure that's exactly what's going to happen.
everybody's gonna set up a farm in their backyard.
I mean, that's would be one thing is like, you know, self farming. I'm sure you'll probably see a lot of people doing that, farming. I was in a lift the other day, as a matter of fact, and freaking one of the girl that was driving me, she was like, her and her sister's got her sister has chickens and does the produce, and she makes all the freaking and the girl driving does all the fruit, like pineapples, cucumbers, tomatoes. I was like, that's that kind of a good little system right there. Get your sister to take care of the produce, the poultry. You take care of all the produce and things like that. But she was like, man, I just, going to the store, it's insane prices, man. It's cheaper to grow your own stuff. Like, I mean, you'll have systems where I'm sure you'll see a lot more people growing their own produce and things like that in their backyard. I'm sure they'll have robots that'll go take care of it for you, get a little robot.
Farm vertical worlds are going to be
Vertical farming.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but
Vertical.
that's going to be commercial scale stuff. You'll have people, but you'll probably have like systems. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they already have stuff like now hydroponic little like
right.
things that you could buy that go in your house and make strawberries and all kinds of this all hydroponic stuff. So I mean, I'm sure these systems will, and now with AI where it's all programmed, can monitor all your freaking levels, make sure everything comes out perfect. So I'm sure you'll see a lot more people like adopting that stuff, and on top of it, it's better quality fruit and things in general.
So we hit our hour of power.
Damn, that was an hour already.
Hour and 6 minutes to be exact.
Damn, there you go.
I was going to ask you. I was going to tell you what I've for some reason.
Moral of the story here: AI is taking your job, so you better have a fucking plan B. That's the moral. That's the moral of the story here.
Right.
So don't sit on your ass and just think, oh yeah, my job is safe and I'm gonna just be able to. Man, you better be saving every freaking dollar you got. Being wise about it. So, because in 5 years, I mean, think about it. The head of one of the biggest AI companies said in 5 years, that's it. 5 years from now, 50% of jobs, boom, toast. That's a lot of jobs right there. So, and then that's just talking about his AI system. That's not even talking about robots. Not that literally didn't even factor in robots into the equation. That's just AI replacing like low-level jobs and offices, so.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a robot operating on me.
Well, yes and no, because what if they like hack the robot and then like you're under the table and the robot goes rogue?
If they're gonna hack the robot while I'm on the operation table, they're gonna probably get me in a car before that.
Yeah, that's true. Well, they have now the Da Vinci systems where you can do where it's robotic, but you still put your hands in the freaking like control it, but everything's like perfectly stable, like there's no movement because it's all like you're controlling just robot hands. So, but I'm sure robots will be doing surgery. I mean,
what I was gonna say, I've become fascinated with these 3D printer farms, but we'll probably be here for another 20 minutes talking about that. If I
let's go real quick. What about them?
I watch these YouTube shorts.
Yeah, YouTube videos, yeah, and show you all the
And these people are talking like, I made 10,000 this month.
Yeah, you can make a lot of decent money with those things.
What are they fucking making?
Oh, dude, they're making like all kinds of parts.
Dude, like everything I see, they're all making these little like bendable
trinkets,
animals.
man. Adapters for like the lathe, adapters for your phone for a camera mount, adapters for this, a little peg that goes into that, dude. Like all kinds of coasters, freaking pooper scoopers. Like, dude, you name it. Like, people are coming up with like products to freaking make just like random little tchotchkes that are like useful stuff. But I mean, there's like one thing that you see a lot of people making is like woodworking equipment, like tons of like gear for woodworking stuff. Stuff to like level your saw, like freaking feather boards, like 3D printing all kinds of like. I mean, I got 3D printed stuff from my woodworking equipment that I bought from that were like adapters for my Makita drills and things like that. Like they get people making all kinds of cool, and you're like, man, that's actually useful. Like I need one of those. But yeah, I mean, they're printing all kinds of random stuff that's out there. And like that's where you see the ones like in the printing farms, like where you're printing like high volume of those things. Vases, little pots for plants. I mean, dude, all kinds of shit.
The girl that I was watching had a little animal collection that all went into a trash can. I guess you had to buy each animal that go into this plastic trash can. I think it's cool, but I don't know if it's something that I would want to end up doing. But I could think of 1,000 fucking things for camera equipment, cameras, lens mounts, little things to put on the
Yeah.
tripods.
100%. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you go look, the people are probably already out there making them. I mean, like, that's the one thing. Like, dude, when I got my first 3D printer freaking years ago, I mean, I got a bunch of them. Like, dude, I was designing my own shit. Like, man, I need an adapter for this. Boom, CAD it up, 3D printed. I mean, 3D printers are awesome. You know, like freaking. I mean, I use them for Stark Pen all the time, man. Making little prototype stuff first. Like, I'll go freaking 3D print like the. I mean, here, I'll show you real quick. Hang on.
And we're waiting. What's up, cats? Talking
Like,
to the cats.
like these, man, I like a 3D print these. Like, these are the clips for the
Oh, those are the. Oh yeah.
the little pin clips. So I'm 3D print these first to see how they come out before I cast them and wax. Same with the little end caps, the finials. I'll 3D print the designs first before I freaking cast them in silver. See what they come out like. You know, check the detail.
Now you could put that you could make a cast out of that too, right?
Well, that's what I do, and then I do reverse molds, and then I'll make a tree of these, and then cast them in silver. So that's how I make up the parts, and that's what you'll make out of these. Like, boom, you know, big little bag of silver, like that little thing, and you just cast it in pure silver. And there you go, from 3D print to actual end cap in silver. So yeah, man.
So I come across these farms and I see these they got 40, 50 different printers. I'm like, what is going? These they look very happy. These people.
Oh, dude, it's automated. All you got to do is make sure you got filament in the reel, you know, and then you're good to go. Like, I mean, like, here's custom parts. I mean, custom box parts. I mean, I'm CNC machine these, but I mean, dude, I make custom freaking plates, boxes. These are like jigs, custom little jigs for like the pin stuff. Like when I'm doing for routing out where the hinges go, is, I mean, it's like precision work. So it's like, man, like, make your life simple, make some freaking jigs and stuff like that. So I mean, like, there's zillions of, especially in woodworking, man, zillions of tchotchkes out there that you can make to like make your job easier and do stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, there's like endless things in these printing farms, you know, they're cooking up, printing out nonstop. I mean, they got to.
I want. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, they got some of the channels on there. They'll show you the numbers. Like, one guy like shows you his entire number system, how he charges, what he does for his markups, like everything you need to know to start your own freaking 3D printing warehouse. And now they've got two new Prusa, I think. I forgot the other one that's coming out. They came out with a new 3D printer that are like way fast, man. That are getting like, the 3D printers are getting like super fast now too. So it's like your time of like print time is going way down, things like that. So
I watched them. They look. I don't know. They got this certain amount of joy. They keep breaking these plates, and like 40 of them fall off these plates. And I'm like, they're making these little toys. They look like they're having fun making these toys. What I would like to see is the back end, the front end to that, because they're selling this shit somehow. So I want to see the front end.
on their website. So then you got to make an e-commerce website. That's the other, like,
yeah. They don't list their website in the titles. It's just I'm watching just some fucking videos of some.
Oh, you didn't find out? Like, I mean, like, I'll send you a couple of the videos that has a breakdown, shows this whole website. So you can go see their website. I mean, yeah, just make a Shopify website, throw up a template, dude, throw the parts on there, man, and freaking one day, dude, you got your website set up, ready to go.
Where are they shopping this to, though? They got to be shopping it to somebody.
But they're
It's
using
gotta
that.
be
Well, the
either.
thing about it is like
I wonder if they're using a TikTok
woodworking
shop.
trinkets. I'm looking for those things actively. Man, is there like I need something like this. So I'm like woodworking, 3D printed stuff. I mean, like, dude, there's a what is the name of it off the top of my head? It's a 3D printed organization system, open source. What's it called? Gridfinity. Gridfinity. Dude, love this thing. Okay, like this one guy made this Gridfinity. Oh, here, you want to get down that go?
What's it called?
What's up, that go? You know, called Gridfinity. Dude, I mean, you can have somebody 3D printed for you. Like, it's a organization system that's cubicle that you can put. It's like 55 millimeters by 55 millimeter boxes, and you can
Oh, in
arrange
a
it, dude.
drawer?
Dude, you can stack it. Dude, it's awesome. I actually use it in some of my stuff. Like, man, like best organization system like out there, man. Put little nuts and bolts and all kinds of random crap in there. Like keep things like me, I got insane amount of bolts and screws, electronic components. You know, like man, you need like every little boxes to keep those things organized. So like, yeah, this Gridfinity system, dude, is awesome. Zach Friedman was the guy who designed the system, and he made it open source. And they've got a couple of different variations of it. I'll send you the website. Like, dude, all my
I'm
tool,
looking at it right now.
like my tool inside in my toolboxes, dude. I use 3D printed freaking things in there for putting all my wrenches, sockets, man, all that kind of stuff. So like, dude, like there's so many things you can 3D print. I mean, 3D print stuff for the freaking kitchen, organize all your like scrubbers and stuff, man. Get a little 3D printed holder. Like, dude, there's so many things you can 3D print that come in useful, like for stuff like that for organization. That's where you see a lot of stuff being 3D printed, like just organization between organization stuff and like little tchotchkes or like, you know, camera adapters, light adapters, you know, whatnot.
This guy organized all this paint. Oh yeah, what'd you say, Zach Friedman?
Yeah, Zach Friedman's the guy that came up with the stuff.
So you basically print a grid that fits in your drawer, and then you.
Yeah, exactly. You print the grid, and then you print the little boxes, and then just like you can put them in, arrange them.
Yo, you always buy these fucking things, and you put them in the drawer, and they're either like an inch on the side or 3 inches.
That's what's awesome about this system because you can print
Right.
out. Because the way it works is you can print like a longer one, so they don't have to be all small ones. You can print out exactly the sizes you need. That's why it comes in handy. Like you say, okay, this is what I've got. So then I know exactly how many boxes I need to print and what sizes.
Right,
I mean, it takes a little time to like get organized, but it's like it's worth the freaking effort. Like at the end of the day, like you want to get your shit organized, like dude, nothing beats it. It's hands down the best. I mean, you can buy. It's a cheap system that works extremely well. I mean, can you go buy organization systems? Yeah, but that will cost a way more. And then you don't have the flexibility of the Gridfinity system, bottom line.
Man, my drawers on my desk used to look like a fucking bomb hit it, and because I never had the right size. I always would cram shit in. I'd be like, damn it, this almost fit the drawer perfectly, and there'd be space here. I'd have to hide rulers underneath it.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Gridfinity, check it out. You'll love it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at all these things printed in. I wouldn't print them. All these fucking. I wouldn't print them all these colors. It's got red, green, orange.
Yeah, I do the multicolors, man, because then you have color coordinated. It makes it even easier to identify stuff. Okay,
Really?
my metric bolts are in red cases. My ASC, my American standard measurement bolts are in green. So then you know immediately green ones, I need American, I need metric. Boom, go to the red ones. So the color coordination, dude, makes it freaking super simple. And then on top of it, I'll do like I got a Croy printing machine for label printing. So then I just like print labels out on everything, dude, and slap them on the front. So then it's like uber organized.
I have a couple DeWalt cases, divider cases where you put shit in them, and they make the when you buy a drill bit.
Yeah,
for
no, yeah.
thing fits inside the slot perfectly.
Yeah.
DeWalt really thought out their organization cases, but this is a completely different level.
Oh yeah, dude. Like Gridfinity's like nothing beats it. It's literally the best organization system out there. And they got a couple other variants like multi-board and what's the other one called? Starts with an F. I forgot the name of it, but Gridfinity is my favorite.
This is
And then
why
what's cool is like, dude, just get on YouTube and then be like that's what I did for my tools, man. I just went on YouTube, like, and went to freaking other woodworkers and shit, and be like, okay, how are these people organizing their stuff? You know, it's just to get some like basic ideas, like how they arrange shit, and be like, all right, then I'm gonna do my own style of that. You know, I want to do it this method instead. So, but they got man, a zillion videos on YouTube of people showing you how they did their Gridfinity system. I guarantee you, there's filmmakers out there that have their Gridfinity system set up, you know, show you how they organize their stuff with Gridfinity. It's been out for a few years, man. So highly recommend using it.
wow. All right, you ready to call it?
Oh yeah, that's right. For over the hour, yeah.
I mean, we could keep going, but
Let's wrap it up.
you want to call it? All right. Josh, tell them where they can find you.
On Twitter, you know, go to my Twitter page. I don't know if they want to find me for, but you can go to my Twitter page. Send me a DM if you want something. Let's see.
It's pretty cool.
I figured you'd like that.
Yeah, this is I mean, we were talking in TGIF and Ghost jumped on top of me when I said it. I said I was talking about organization, and it's not just for an artist. I think anything you do,
dude, anything organized, man. That's why. Oh yeah, I remember when we were talking about that. I mean, dude, I make a mess when I'm like working on a project, stuff's everywhere, but like all my shit's organized,
right?
Extremely organized, man. Everything's in a freaking spot. Like I don't have like random shit sitting out anywhere because that takes time, dude. That's the problem. Like if you have a lot of stuff, tools,
trying to find shit.
Yeah, man. Like, dude, where'd I put this freaking socket? Where'd I put this freaking microchip? I knew I was stuck it in one of these damn drawers, and you're like pulling out 900 drawers. Like, where? It's in the back under 200 fucking things. You're like, shit, man. Where's this stuff? So I mean, like, it pays to be organized at the end of the day. Saves time. It's efficient.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I got 15 cases. They all look the same. The only way I know what's on the front of them is I put a piece of tape and I just write what's inside the case. But
dude, just go get a little brother like Croy machine like I've got, man. Like then you can print.
I got one. I ain't paying $30 for that cartridge no more.
Dude, they're not dude. These cartridges cost like $5 for one of these things, man.
Nah, they were expensive back in the day. I have one.
Well, they're cheap now, man. I got like multicolored ones, like different widths and colors.
They got
dude.
black and gold.
Yeah, man. I use these things like, dude, I got a drawer full of these things right here.
Brother P Touch.
Yeah, back in the day, maybe they were expensive, but they're like crazy cheap now.
They're cheap now?
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe
I'll send you the link where I
maybe they realized. Look, this is $44 from you.
Yeah, but if you're looking at 44, then it's probably a massive pack of them. Like,
hang on,
I get them like
it's Uline, and Uline likes.
Oh, Uline, dude, they're like crazy expensive. I don't buy from there.
Overcharge for everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Only thing I buy from Uline, dude, is my bubble wrap and like 2 rollers if I need something like that because they got the best like selection when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah, $56. Uline. Wait, all right, wait. Here's one. This is Staple prices. Staples is Office Max. All those stores.
I'll send you where I buy my stuff.
I got $6.69, black on white, $6.69. This is the cheapest I found one. I have a Brother Pete. I wonder if I still have it. It's got to be in one of these cases. I don't remember selling it or getting rid of it, but I have a Brother P Touch, and the fucking case. The things cost too much, so I stopped using it. I would blow through these things. It's how I would label all my DVDs. And then eventually I'm like, this is going to get expensive. I'll just go with the Sharpie. Yeah, like this is much cheaper.
That's just so much slower, man. You gotta get the tape and then it like wipes off. Like, man, so much cleaner having the freaking printed out little labels, dude.
Yeah, nah, this is how I originally doing the PlayStation games. I was fuck this. I'm spending more on brother P-Touch labels than I am anything else. I'm like, yeah, this ain't worth it. This is
Yeah, I
like,
didn't label my games, man. I just wrote on the CDs, just name of the game. That's it.
I'm like, this is like another printer scam. You buy the printer for $100, yet the ink cartridge are like $200, $300, and they run out. Brother,
Oh yeah, I meant to ask you when you were doing engineering, what did y'all use? Did y'all use Inventor for doing HVAC work, or would y'all AutoCAD? What y'all use back in the day?
AutoCAD.
Oh, okay, AutoCAD to do all your stuff.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think it was. I want to say I don't know why. I want to say AutoCAD 12.
Oh shit, that's like way back in the day.
Let me see the year. What year did AutoCAD, let's see, 12 come out? Let's see if I remember this correctly. February 1993.
Good Lord.
I graduated in 96. So that would be right. So
Yeah, but you weren't in the workforce in 96. I mean, you were probably working in what, 2000s?
no. 96 I went right to work. 97, 90. Wait, let me think let me think this out clear.
That's old.
High school, no. Grammar school was 88. High school was 92. College was 96. That's right. So 97, 98, 99. Yeah, I was working. I was HVAC. Now, let's see. 92 was AutoCAD 12. So that lines up.
Yeah, that was way before BIM and stuff like that was out.
Let's see.
So yeah,
AutoCAD. Now, we used something different for. Okay,
you use like SolidWorks or Acacia.
13. So 13, 14. Yeah, I have it right. 13 came out in 94, 14 came out in 97, and then AutoCAD 2000 came out in 99. So I was working on 14 and 2000. But in college, we worked on a different system. It wasn't AutoCAD. Or maybe it was AutoCAD. I feel like it was a different. I want to say it was different, but I don't remember what the name of it was, what we worked on. Maybe it was AutoCAD. I just don't remember it being AutoCAD.
It wasn't like Inventor
Let me
or
invent. Well, was that out in 96?
possibly.
All right.
I don't know when Inventor came out. SolidWorks, you know.
No, it wasn't SolidWorks. I knew Autodesk Inventor 96. Was it Autodesk that
Yeah, Autodesk makes Inventor.
Auto. All right, hang on. Let me see what if there's a. No, 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 this doesn't look familiar. I would recognize it.
It wasn't Smart Draw, was it?
Let me see. Well, what would you? This would be all engineering.
Well, HVAC stuff now. I mean, that would be mechanical, MEP stuff, mechanical and plumbing and electrical is typically what they have. Like it'll be an add-on package for. Now you do that stuff in like Revit, which is a BIM building information modeling, where you're more modeling in like 3D.
So
The
company that I worked for, we did use AutoCAD. That was AutoCAD, but
yeah, AutoCAD does have like add-ons that you can add in there. They got AutoCAD Map, they got MEP, which will add all like the HVAC systems, you know, so you don't have to like design them from scratch essentially. I mean, let me see if
Okay, so there
AutoCAD.
was SolidWorks, there was Trispective, Ironclad, Solid Edge. I don't remember.
Oh yeah,
any of them.
Solid Edge. Yeah, that's another big one.
Shape 3D, Paris Software Engineering. I feel like our engineering software wasn't AutoCAD. I don't know why I want to say that, but I don't remember it being AutoCAD. But it was just as good. I just don't remember the name of it, of what we worked on. The whole entire computer center ran on like a server. And so you would boot up your computer and it would boot down from the server and then it would set you up and then boom, you'd be off and you'd be off designing and coding. And we each had our own mainframe, but I just can't remember the name of the software we used. I'd have to actually ask my friends. Let me look at SolidWorks, but I would have remembered
Yeah, SolidWorks is more CAM, like manufacturing. Like if you're doing like when I like building the furniture and stuff, I use Inventor. Like when you're actually like designing projects that are stuff that's gonna be like machined, or you're building stuff beyond like 2D plans essentially.
And our screens were all black. There wasn't any white.
Yeah, that's AutoCAD. That's typically AutoCAD.
Maybe it was AutoCAD then.
Yeah, AutoCAD was all. You may have just had the feature of the NDP module added into AutoCAD, which is very possible.
They had over there was at least 100, 200 computers a room. They had 2-3 different rooms. So and everything ran the same. Maybe it was AutoCAD. Maybe I don't. It's and we had this thermal laser printer in the back of the room, and
Oh yeah, big. Oh yeah, my dad had one of those.
and nobody was allowed to print to it.
Printing on you print out your wide format plans.
Everybody. The fucking teacher he was do not print to the 3D thermal printer. It's very expensive, very expensive.
I could see them doing that.
That's all they used to say. Don't print to the, we'll tell you
when blueprints were actually blueprints.
This thing, when it printed, it came out thermal. It came out like it's like a piece, like it was printed, like almost. It was nice. It's crazy. All right, let's get out of here. I think this is long enough. I think we should be good for Wednesday, whether I decide to get a mixer or I don't.
Yeah, this mixer is doing a fine job.
I think we're all right. I just wanted to make sure because we got that important show Wednesday. But I'll come back and do it. In the meantime, you got to think of a song to close out on.
Here, let me send it to you.
But I'll be. Let me close out. Give me 2 minutes here.
Well, here, go on your PC real quick. Let me share my screen. Take a look at this and see if this looks familiar.
Go ahead.
Save my share button. Share the screen. Yeah, does this look like look on the left hand side? Like when you're modeling on, if you're using SolidWorks, it'd have been like this, where your model tree is like on the left hand side. If you were using SolidWorks or Inventor,
this doesn't look familiar.
You'd have like extrusions, like the way you build everything. Like you start with 2D, but then everything pops out in 3D, and then
show me the version that existed in '96.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it would probably be very similar, essentially, in the layout because it's parametric modeling.
This
looks
like it got really advanced. Well, it looks like Photoshop now, actually.
It looks nothing like Photoshop, but it's definitely a lot more advanced. Say what I wouldn't mind some AI functionality inside of this. I mean, they do have stuff for like you can't do, but it's more for like shape, like how to it'll trim down. Like if you're doing like complex parts, it'll like trim down the parts and stuff like that. But yeah,
looks like Word on steroids. No, I don't remember it working like this.
Roger.
I'd have to go through and look.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what
I bet you I got some prints from my old project. I had to design a bike. I had to design a whole gear system for a bike. Yeah. I gotta go. Matter of fact, I have a my engineer, I have all my notebooks and notes and all my shit in one big thing that I save. So I wonder if it's in there somewhere. I might have a printout. I'll tell you. All right, give me 1 second. I'll come right back.
Roger that.
All right. Yeah, I want you guys to have a good night. I'm not even checking if there's comments. Me and Josh just running a test, make sure everything works good because we have shows Wednesday and Friday. Wednesday, art release collection. Art release collection on Wednesday. 23 artists are releasing the box, the 23 artists collection, artist collective. Sven, who we did a community show with 23 artists. Sven introduced 6 featured artists from 23 artists. And so this time around, not a community show, but a art launch, a project art launch collection entitled The Box. So we will be premiering 7 artists that are a part of this. There's a lot more than just 7, though. There's a whole mess of artists, lots of artists. So join in. We're gonna talk about the collection that's about to drop. I think the full collection drops June 5th. So the show is June 4th. That's Wednesday. We'll see you on Wednesday. And then Friday, we have Yu Zapata, who will be coming back to do a recap show, and we're gonna talk to him. We're gonna see what he got going on. I know he has a lot going on. He's got a show in NFT NYC this month. And we have NFT NYC this month. So there's a lot of problems on the back end, a lot of technical issues, computers going down, routers going down, mixers going down. So I wanted to run a quick test. I did not want to skip 2 Mondays in a row because of technical issues. So I thought it'd be best just to get on here and do an hour. So Josh joined me to do an hour of power. So see you guys on Wednesday. Till then, stay up, stay positive, and I'll see you guys then. So, all right, y'all. On that note, I want to wish everybody a great week. I want you all to get out there and create art and start plan Bing, because Mr. Doom and Gloom is going to tell you you're about to lose your job. So, go ahead. Tell them they're about to lose their job. Say goodnight.
Better have a plan B, people. Better have a plan B.
All right, y'all. What track we got? What track we closing out on over here? Let's see. What'd you send it to, X or Signal?
Yeah, Signal.
Hang on. Let me backtrack here. Oh, no, that's not it. Where are you, Signal? There you go. All right. Oh, we're going with this one. All right, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put a little
I like
it.
As an owner of Walton Goggins,
I liked it
Switch
when you gave it to me. I was listening. I said, "Oh, this guy's pretty good." This is a nice track to end on. A nice. We're gonna end on a nice little piece of reggae here. Make you feel good after Josh just ruined your entire life with robots and AI. Gonna make you. Everybody's moving to the beach. All right, y'all. We will see you on the next one. And jump in. Oh, tomorrow. Sketch. Shira, linked by art, will be I got space 9/11. I almost forgot about that. And then Friday, TGIF, 1 p.m. We'll see you there.
That's right. 1 year anniversary.
That's right. And
Come on in.
we're doing it's been 1 full year of TGIF. How about that? So all right, y'all. We'll see you on the next one. We're out of here. Everybody stay up, stay positive, be good. Peace. All right, yo. Say good night. Peace. Peace, yo. Peace. Peace. We're out.
time and I'm feeling the rhyme and I'm seeing the sun in the shine of my mind. Let me be like the open sea, cause this the way it's meant to be. Who are they for them to say? The music's not for us to play. Making our way, not day by day, when it's our destiny. So we take what we got, what we put it in a drop, and the roots music is what we got. All I can do is stay true when the ocean lives inside of me.